Now let me show you exactly what this zigzag card looks like. And the best bit, you can hand this out to be completely examined and there is nothing to find. Hello, Joel here and welcome to my channel. If you are new, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. In a moment, I'm going to show you exactly how to perform this incredible zigzag card illusion. And trust me, it looks absolutely brilliant. It's easy to do, it's practical, it looks good close up, it looks great on stage, and it even looks good on social media. So in a moment, we're going to get into the handling, but before we do, let's take a little look at exactly how we make it. The good news is I can teach you how to make this in around about 10 to 11 minutes, and it really is easy to make. Once you know how to make it, you will have a fantastic piece of magic right at your disposal. So with that in mind, let me show you how to make it, and make sure you do not skip exactly how it works and how the pieces come together, because I share lots of tips and lots of subtleties and little nuances along the way. So let's get into it. I perform this with the Queen of Diamonds. When you perform this, you will need to be using a picture card, so you can pick any picture card that you like. Imagine this card is in thirds, and I'm going to remove the top like this, and I'm also going to remove the bottom, so effectively I'm just left with a middle piece like this. Alright, I'm going to get rid of them, I don't need them. Then I'm going to take some of these little magnets, and all I'm going to do is just attach these magnets either side. Basically what I'm doing is a technique here where I'm going to basically align 3 rows of magnets just like this, and these magnets are trapping these magnets in position, and this is going to be a time saver, and it's going to save us having to stick these on by hand, just by trapping the magnets like this. And what I'm going to do, if we look at the actual playing card, I'm going to distribute the magnets nice and evenly. But the one thing that I need to do is make sure that all of the magnets are actually facing the same way. But check this out, as you can see, I've aligned this on this little border and on this border, and right in the middle is a little circle here. So I'm going to align this magnet so it's perfectly aligned right in the middle. Alright, and I'm going to make sure that's nice and even, so that is great, that's good to go. I've got some of this is double-sided vinyl sticky sheets. Okay, this saves me gluing a little bit later on, and all I'm going to do now is just pick this up, and remember, like I said earlier, I need to make sure all of the magnets are facing the same way. There's a good chance they're not. So to do this, I can feel that's repelling, I can feel that's repelling, and I can feel that that is repelling. So that means all of my magnets are facing the same polarity, which is great. Now I'm just going to drop this card right here on top, just like this. All right, now I'm just going to give a little push down on this so that the vinyl adheres absolutely perfectly, just like so. I'm going to get rid of these 3 magnets for now, so I'll stick them back on top of my other magnets if I can get them off. Whoop, there we go, there's 1, 2, and 3. And now what I'm going to do is just trim the excess away. So I'm going to trim it, I'm just going to cut this off just like this. I'm going to explain it as quickly. So your next little job is just to grab some cardboard. Okay, just some regular card, and the card that I've got here is really thin. Okay, you don't actually have to use white cardboard. If you've only got some paper, then a little bit of paper is absolutely fine as well. So now I'm going to take the adhesive and I'm going to remove the other half of the adhesive sheet, so now you can see the actual magnets are trapped on the back of the card, and I'm just going to place this over here like so. So now I'm going to place that down, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a piece of material, on this occasion my sleeve, and I'm just going to flatten this out, okay, just like this. That gets rid of any wrinkles or crinkles or whatever. I'm going to snip away the excess again, so that okay, so there is the first part of the gimmick, and in reality, if I wasn't just explaining this, we're probably about a quarter to a halfway through making this gimmick, believe it or not. Next thing is to just take a piece of cardboard. You're going to cut a chunk of this card out, which is going to be the same width as this card. Okay, if you want to, you can cut it a little bit shorter, but personally I do cut it roughly the same size. All right, like this, and then a little bit later on I will be thinning in the gimmick out. All right, now this piece of black card needs to be twice the width of a playing card. So let me just get this down like so. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, this is, as I know, it is longer than an actual card, but that really doesn't matter, because what I'm going to do now is just cut off any of the excess. Okay, so all I do is fold this piece of black card over a playing card, just like this. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just grab hold of these scissors, and I'm going to trim it again, just trim away at some of that excess, just like this. So effectively, we've just created a little folding piece of card. So let me get rid of these just for now. And then we're going to move on to the next thing that we need to do. So the next thing is really simple. We're going to grab a couple, 3 magnets, not a couple, sorry. And what I'm going to do is just close this up. And then I'm going to take the queen and I'm going to place it on top. Okay, then I'm going to grab the 3 magnets and I'm going to drop these magnets 1, 2, 3, like so. All right, now what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to move this actual queen up and it's going to drag the magnets up like this. But this is good because now I'm going to align the piece of card. So that is now aligned to the spine of the fold that we've just made, and I'm just going to drop them on and off once more. I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to grab myself a little piece of adhesive like this. Okay, then this is the sticky side, so let me try and get my fingers off. I'm now going to do the exact same thing again. I'm just going to place the adhesive on like this. Okay, make sure that that's nice and flush. Then, just like before, I'm going to turn it over. I'm just going to give it another little rub just to flatten out and ensure that that adhesive really does do its job and grab onto the card. Then I'm going to peel that back up and I'm just going to cut away the excess. Okay, so that is the excess removed. So now what I'm going to do is just pop this little piece off. Of course, it's now magnetic and it magnetizes to this. But what I can also do is open this up. Now, what I want to do is the piece of card here sits just like this. But I want the piece of card that sits under, the black card that sits under the playing card, to be a little bit thinner. So all I need to do is just trim a little bit off there, tiny little nick at the edge right there, and then I'm just going to run these scissors right down, just trimming off a little bit of that edge. And this is going to create a really, really nice security blanket for whilst we're performing this effect. All right. This piece of magic is absolutely perfect for performing on stage. It's perfect for social media. It's just a really nice visual piece of magic. Now, one little thing that we can do here at this point is take some adhesive felt. Okay, just for the simplicity of this, I'm just going to trim this piece off so I can get rid of the bulk of it, and you can see exactly how I adhere this to this. All right, so there's my little gimmick. Get rid of that felt. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to provide a link to this, so if you want some again, check out the description and you can pick up some of this felt as well. All right, so it's really sticky and it's such good stuff. There's something that we can do here. So I know that this is going to be the back. If you want to, you do not have to use this adhesive. I just, obviously this is going to be relying on black art during the performance. So I find that this is just a little bit shiny in some performing situations. Okay, but all you need to do now is just grab a little bit of this, the black there, place the adhesive on, and again, just like before, we're going to flatten this out. And this is really important that we flatten it at this point because we want this as thin as possible. Okay, so this now, the whole thing as a bundle is pretty thin. I'm gonna grab the scissors, just trim the excess away. I keep saying that, but that's all I'm basically doing, so let's speed this up. So that is the excess trimmed away, and what we have here is an almost complete gimmick. So the situation is this. I'm going to take this piece of white there and I'm just going to peel this off. Okay, Now these magnets are trapped inside, and what I'm going to do is actually align the gimmick. So there we go, that is my gimmick, nice and aligned like so. And all I'm going to do is take another Queen of Diamonds. I'm going to slide the matching card, the Queen of Diamonds, into this little piece here, so it goes into the actual fold like so. So there we go, that is the gimmick aligned like this, almost aligned. It's not too far off, it's looking pretty good. All right, there's something that we're going to do that's going to touch all of that up, and I will show you exactly how in a moment. But for now, we're going to take that extra card that I mentioned earlier on, and all I'm going to do is just sandwich that card onto the actual gimmick like so. So now I can remove this extra piece, I can remove this Queen of Diamonds, and what I'm going to do here is just cut the back of this off. All right, so and that is the gimmick. It's as simple as that. So what I'm going to do is just place my little piece onto the actual wrong side. I'm going to place the gimmick on like so, and I'm just going to do some final adjustments. I said that that's the gimmick complete, so I'm going to align this up, make sure it's looking good, which it is. It's looking pretty good. Now what we're going to do here, this is a brilliant part. Okay, so I'm going to open up my gimmick, I'm going to open this part, and if we look here at the border right there, I'm just going to snip this off, and this is going to come in handy during the actual performance of the piece of magic. This is what makes the whole thing absolutely performable. So now it's on, I'm going to check it, one last final check. That gimmick is, I would say that we're going to need to trim a little bit of this off again. We're going to need a tiny piece off the edge, just removed like this, and this is going to make and clean up the entire gimmick. So let me put that back, let me place this back on like so, and that, my friends, is the gimmick complete. So now let's get into exactly how we handle the gimmick. And that, my friends, is your complete gimmick. It's in two parts, but when magnetized together creates one single unit. All right, the little black piece here that we snipped the border off, this is going to be what we're going to call the mouth of the gimmick. So place the mouth of the gimmick so it's pointing down in your pocket. Then you're going to force a playing card onto your audience or your spectators, and what I'm going to say is I'm going to provide a link below to a force that I believe is a good force to actually use. So if you want, once this video is finished, check out how to force a playing card if you don't already know. As you proceed by performing your favourite routine. Once you've performed your favourite routine, you hand the card out to your participants, and then you're going to casually just drop your hands in your pockets and place the gimmick into a little finger palm, just like this. And remember, the mouth of the gimmick is pointing away from you. So you're going to retrieve the playing card and you're going to place it in your hand. But what I've really just done is fed the gimmick into the mouth. Fed their card into the mouth of the gimmick like this. And now what I'm going to do is align that gimmick by pushing and wrapping the whole gimmick around the card, and that is easily done by casually just moving the card across and opening up my hand. To people who are watching, it doesn't look like anything has happened. However, the whole gimmick is now surrounding the selected card. All right, one little top tip is just to keep the playing card moving. Keeping the card moving, it stops people from seeing the discrepancy, which is these little lines right here. All right, so now what we're going to do, because the effect relies on black art, I'm wearing a black t-shirt, I'm just going to bring that card back to me, and what I'm going to do is just separate the gimmick with my index finger and middle finger and my thumb, and that is just going to cause the playing card to separate just like this, and that is the first phase. And when we do that fairly swiftly, boom, we create this nice little separation illusion. I can then come over with these fingers. Make sure you don't pinch here, because that will just look weird. Pinch the bottom of the card, you can let go of the gimmick just like this. Now my thumb is going to grab the back of the gimmick, so the gimmick on the back, but also simultaneously push down against the base of my thumb and hold the playing card as I now move the middle piece of the gimmick across again to create that illusion just like this. All right, make sure when you release it slowly so the gimmick doesn't move like this. It generally is pretty solid, so we can just release it like so. We come back, we grab the gimmick, we push again. I'm also going to adjust my grip, so now I'm going to hold the gimmick here with my thumb and pinch the top of the card. And then what I'm going to do is just let go here, and now my hand's going to come in and I'm going to hide because I don't want people to see that my thumb is vanishing. Remember, this all stays remained here close to your body to hide this actual material, because this is the reality. Let's keep it hidden. So now I go in with my fingers, I grab that card, I grab hold, and I just pull that back, bump like so. I shake it again, but now I'm going to clean up the gimmick, and this is a really cool little piece. So I pinch the top of the card like this. My whole hand is going to cover the actual gimmick as this comes up, and I spin the card round, and all this happens really fast. All right, and what I've done is just secretly palmed off the gimmick. So let's have a look at that in the actual motion of how it will be executed during the performance. And then I just come up here, I spin that card around, I can spin that around, and I'm just hiding that gimmick and keeping my windows of my fingers closed like this so people don't see that the card's there. Keep them fingers closed, but also practice making it look natural. All right, then I can spin that forward, hand that card back out to be examined, and it is as simple as that. That is how you make the gimmick. That's the basic handling. Instead of performing by forcing a card, you can get ahead, and what you could actually do is make the gimmick in reverse so that you are effectively removing the back design of the card, and that also looks really, really nice. All right, really hope you enjoy it. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please make sure you do. If you want to check out my website, head to themiraclestudio.co.uk, and there as well I have a list of all the products that I've created and released into the magic industry, and I also have a little subscription service as well where I share lots of magic. So yeah, feel free to check that out. Really hope you enjoyed that explanation, and it would be great to see if you actually head out and perform it. So take care of yourselves, everybody, and goodbye.